Hey ladies, it's Ashni here, and I'm really excited to bring you the first of this three-part video series. This is the three-part series that I've been talking to you about since a while ago when people started joining the private community. So ladies have been very excited about this, waiting for it to drop, and the time has finally come. This is it. I'm going to unpack this personal finances model. I'm going to show you exactly how I created real financial security, became truly financially abundant, and then I'm going to show you how you can replicate my results as well. I'm going to unpack this entire model for you from beginning to end, and by the end of this video series, I promise you, you are going to feel so much more comfortable and confident to become financially stable and start your journey to becoming debt-free and financially free. But before I jump into today's training, I really want to take a quick time out to acknowledge how amazing our community is. I mean, seriously, there's so much positive energy and awesome feedback, and so much hype and excitement, it's hard to believe. And so many ladies supporting and encouraging one another. And that's really what my vision was for that community. So I'm really excited about it. At this point, over 1,000 people signed up for this training, and it's going to be epic. Now back to today's video. What I'm going to teach you today is the Bulletproof House of Finance framework. So that's the finance model blueprint, and it's how the whole thing hangs together for a Wonder Woman, equipping herself with armory. In this video, I'm going to give you the big picture, the entire four-pillar blueprint that I have used in order to build a solid foundation, so much so that I could go suddenly from 7 digits to 0 overnight, and 2 years later still have my financial stability and true abundance back without a job. I have helped many businesses and people become financially sustainable and abundant using this exact methodology, and I'm here to help you do this. And I don't have a clever gimmick for you. I know a lot of finance marketers have these personal finance courses with heavy accounting jargon and fancy templates that don't work for you, or these get-rich-quick schemes out there for your money problems. That's not what this is about. What I want to show you is how to create a robust plan to create financial security in a short space of time and achieve long-term financial sustainability and success, no matter the storms you're in or may face. So, if you are looking for a quick fix, then this training isn't for you. But if you're looking to really put effort and work at building your money skills, then you are in the right place. And I'm going to take you through this step by step. I'm going to be your guide on this journey. I'm going to hold your hand, and I'm going to take you through every single step. So that's a little bit of what I'm going to be talking to you about today. And another thing I want you to understand is that you don't have to use my model. Most of the people sitting in my position are people who need you to believe in their model. I'm indifferent whether you use my model or not. I just want you ladies to succeed. Now I'm going to share the model that I use because it's the best. That's why I use it, of course. But there are a lot of other people out there who do great work in this space, who have fantastic models out there. You need to use whatever model resonates with you. I'm going to share my model, but I'm also going to connect you to other people so that you can find what works best for you. I want you to succeed, and that is the beginning and the end of sharing this goal with you. So this is my family, my 2 daughters, husband, and parents. The little boy is my nephew from the UK. It didn't look and feel like this a few years back when I had sleepless nights stressing about my finances. You see, when I turned 40, I was fired for standing up to blatant inequality in the corporate world. It just grated me how we as females are marginalized, paid less, and not acknowledged in a male-dominated space. There can only be upside, one would think, for such an evangelical move to address burning issues of gender and racial discrimination. But for that period, it was only doom and gloom. The high paychecks I worked so hard for came to a grinding halt, unexpectedly. I would cry myself to sleep, as no matter how hard I tried to hide it, my palpable fear permeated our home and kids. You may be feeling some of this right now through this debilitating, ferocious pandemic. This job loss felt so surreal for me, like I was struck by a meteor straight out of nowhere. My heart broke. I had sleepless nights stressing about how do I pay all my bills. I was so gripped with anxiety of whether I had enough. I was worried about whether I could sustain my family's needs. Just generally felt embarrassed and ashamed. Living paycheck to paycheck means I didn't save as much as I should have, and I helped loved ones out more than I could have. Losing a job for doing the right thing is in itself just emotionally gut-wrenching alone, as a matter of fact. But the real problem was I didn't have the right emergency fund savings when I lost my job. It got worse. I started feeling remorse over past holidays, gifts I bought, loans to my husband's business, and financial decisions where I was probably easily suckered into easy credit, for example. I was even regretting my donations of 10,000 Rand a month to charity. It felt overwhelming and hard to escape, affecting my relationships, my sleep, and my health. It seemed to trickle down into every area of life, making it hard to think, focus, and function. All I wanted to do was to live my life of purpose, have financial abundance, so I could have guilt-free time with my loved ones. I wanted to be freer and more flexible, so we could learn more through seeing the world, financially empower women globally, and continue uplifting impoverished societies and communities. It was my biggest fear to have come to the end of my life and not have lived it the way I wanted to and been really happy. I tried doing meditations to calm my anxiety. I even some days tried to ignore my very own overhanging financial disaster. I even took on more work than I could handle to replace a lost income. And nothing was working or making a big shift in my life. And it wasn't an easy time. Here's the thing, you see. I tried many courses throughout my life, but managing one's own finances like a finance expert requires more than just academic and technical finance knowledge. And really, I learned nothing new through the finance courses I came across that could uplift my finances and me. Gosh, I was feeling hopeless and baffled, also as to how could I have screwed up with the right financial knowledge. I've got the highest recognized financial qualification after all, studied and trained by the best. But this time I was driven by my horrible situation and those dreary eyes as motivation to pull myself up very quickly, to reconfigure my finances and pull myself out of this rock bottom feeling. I remember those long nights scouring the web for information on women and her money, researching studies out of Harvard and Forbes. I read many books and swallowed up many interesting case studies to understand deeply how real successful women earn, spend, and save. And I ended up coming across a coach as well. And that is when everything changed for me. I realized that there were thousands of people truly living the life I wanted to live. And they weren't even qualified accountants like me, earning a huge salary. I was blown away. I immediately made it my mission to live financially free, and I was willing to do everything it took in order to give myself the happiness I deserve and freedom to live my purpose and do more of the things I loved. After working at it intensely, I came out with a deep understanding of and rock solid relationship with my money and my dream lifestyle. Spending time with people who I choose to spend my time with, having more than enough money to fulfill all needs, talents, and desires, and having the freedom to do what matters to me. You will notice me in the middle having reflection time even. Above that, I get to invest guilt-free in myself, becoming a better version of me. That was me getting a mini MBA in London. And on the right, you will see the greater impact of what my financial empowerment has achieved, which is empowering our nation through empowering youth with education and skills. And as you can see, a very happy family once again. My life literally did change, and exactly in the way I wanted it to. I was able to sleep better at night, spend money guilt-free, give more to charity. I gained more flexibility and am living my life of purpose now as well, even working less and earning more after tax. I gave myself permission to feel into my desires, have them, and nurture them within my budget. I made it a point to know exactly what my money is doing and where it's going. I started applying what I learned in universities, the practice of that finance knowledge in business, and my newfound secrets to true personal financial success for women through all my hours of new research about money for my new life path. I even realized the hype and false promises people make out there about financial freedom. It doesn't work for everyone. I learned the psychology of women, especially a woman, because we are special people, right? Hell yeah, we are. And I pieced that new information with my finance academic degrees and 20 years of steering businesses finance super successfully, and my coach, who held me accountable on the path to true, vibrant, authentic financial success. It was the most amazing transformational change for me, and I went from unhappy and stuck to happy, inspired, and living my best life ever that my money can buy. Anyway, I just know that this will bring anyone results, and anyone can do this if they look at what I do and they copy me. The potential is amazing if you master this model, and anything is possible. I can basically summarize this with a quote that I read. It's by Richard Branson. He said, "There's no greater thing that you can do with your life and your work than follow your passions in a way that serves the world and you." That's really what this is about. I want to follow my passions in a way that serves women and youth in the world. And that's what this is all about. I've got this goal, as I mentioned before, to help 1 million ladies take control of their finances and make their money work for them so that they can do what they love. Maybe you want to spend more time with your family, or on a hobby, or on your passion, or self-development, whatever it is for you. I want to help you get your finances in order and your money working for you using a model like this so that you get to spend your time doing that thing that you want to do. Because money is a tool of love after all. It enables us to do what we want to do. And that's why I've created this free masterclass series, because I want to give you a reason to get started. Because most people only get started and take that first step when there is sufficient pain to motivate that decision. For me as well, for many years I was in the rat race. I was burning the candle at both ends, and I only stopped when I was fired. If I never had that experience, I'd probably still be working in that same position, fooling myself I was saving sufficiently. And so I don't want you to get to that point, and I also don't want you to get to the end of your life having never made that decision to get started. And this free value is about encouraging you to get started. A reason to take that first step, but so often it's the hardest step because there's so many fears and self-doubt. You know that stuff that comes in. What if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if, what if, what if? Then you don't get started. And this is a reason for you to get started, as I will show you how I did it and just how easy it actually is. Now let's get to the actual training. I want to show you how to do this. Now, before I show you what to do, I want to show you what not to do and the things I would personally avoid, pandemic or no pandemic. I understand, especially during the anxiety of global recession though, the temptation may be to do exactly the things you are not supposed to do. So let's jump right in no particular order. Number 1, save money by dropping your health insurance. This one is a risky one. I know you're probably thinking back to the past year and thinking that you hardly used your medical aid perhaps, but you never know what's going to happen. It may be a bad skiing accident where you blow out your knee, or a bad kidney stone that sends you to the emergency room in the middle of the night. You may fall on your way out to the car one morning and end up with a serious concussion and stitches. All of these things have happened to people I've known when they were in their 20s. Health insurance has protected these people from walking out of the hospital with $30,000 or R500,000 later more in debt. So the problem here is you're being penny wise and pound foolish, right? The cost of the unforeseen, financially, and let's not forget emotionally, will far outweigh the premium saved. Number two, figure things will work out okay. It is naive to think that things will just magically work out for you. If you do not come up with a solid plan to do what you want to do, or live the life you want to live, and have a bulletproof money plan to make it happen, nothing is going to change. You will be in exactly the same place or worse off next year at this time if you do not create a solid plan and follow a written budget each month to achieve what your dream is. It takes planning to move on to the next step. You need to prepare to do the things you want to do and to have the things you want to have. And the way to do it is you can get total control over your money through a written spending plan to achieve that. It allows you to actually determine when and how you spend your money. It is important to realize that becoming financially empowered is not a hard thing, and that you and your money plan is all you need in life to reach your goals. Number three, rely on your credit cards to get by. If you do this once or twice, you may be able to get out of debt pretty quickly. But if you make this a habit, you are going to rack up a lot of debt in a short space of time, and you will not even have anything to show for it at the end of the year. Emergencies can come up unexpectedly, which is why you should save up an emergency fund so that you do not need to use your credit cards for emergencies. You need to make a goal to stop using your credit cards completely for the next year. If you do use them, then pay them off in full at the end of each month. This is just one of the credit mistakes you can try your best, especially in these times, to avoid. Let me explain something to you. Governments around the world have lowered or considered lowering interest rates to boost the economy. How? So that you will go out and spend more on your credit card. This spending of yours boosts the economy. One way, for example, the government earns taxes on what we buy through value-added tax, which is VAT, as we know in South Africa. And governments are needing funds desperately from the public. Maybe they should have managed their finances better, hey? And finance houses like banks are grateful to you for the interest that they earn off you spending on your card. Your unintended cash out in the form of the interest you are paying is what banks are hungry for, as it's one of their top revenue lines, right? So hold on to your purse strings, ladies. We're in for a rough ride still, as globally it's forecasted that the economy is contracting, shrinking by 3%. So rather not rack up a lot of debt now. Number four, put off saving for retirement until. You should be making regular contributions to your retirement. You do not want to put off until you buy a home or until you are completely out of debt. You may not be contributing the full 15% you should, but work towards it while you are trying to get out of debt. But you should still be making contributions now. When you're in your 20s, you have a long way until retirement, and the more you contribute, the more that money can help you. It has a longer period to grow and benefit you. You need to make sure you are making regular contributions to your retirement account. Number five, giving in to pressure to take the next big step. So many of life's milestones will affect your finances. When you decide to get married, move for a career change, buy a house, or start a family, you should be ready for the changes that these will bring to your life and your finances. You are the only one who can decide when the time is right to make those decisions. Your parents or friends may pressure you to make other decisions or to rush you into something before you are totally ready. If you are not ready yet, you may regret the choices that you make and resent whatever step you took. So planning now for these events will make it easier to take the steps when you are ready. But you should decide when that is. You need to step into your power. If you want to be a financially empowered woman, you need to have the right mindset to start with and know your net worth. When I say right mindset, I really mean as women we must position our minds, attitudes, and hearts to believe that we are empowered to accomplish any goal that we purposefully set and to become anything for which we have a desire. You are the shoulders of this earth. You are mothers, sisters, grandmothers, daughters, girlfriends, and wives, and you have power. I need you to own your power. Recognize all that you are and all that you have. Becoming empowered suggests that you can be in control of your finances. I know this may sound strange to some who have always allowed their finances or lack of it to control them, but I'm going to help you out in the next video. Just the survey and the poll I ran in the community shows ladies are struggling with money-related behavior, and I'm going to show you exactly how thoughts, feelings, and beliefs shape your money-related behavior. Now, knowing your net worth means that you know what you owe, which includes loans from the bank, house bonds, car financing, loans from relatives, not a good thing, but happens sometimes. Knowing your net worth also means knowing what you have, like properties, car, investments. This, my ladies, is another secret revealed as a key to building financial abundance and freedom. I know this may sound daunting to some, but I'm going to help you out in the next video. But for now, I just want you to be thinking about this in terms of having the right mindset and knowing your net worth. So this is my unique framework, which is going to help you transform into an empowered Wonder Woman financially. The idea here is that it's based on some universal, self-evident, and timeless principles that worked well 100 years ago, as well as it will work 100 years from now, and as well as it works today. I call this the Wonder Woman House of Finance framework, as our home is our place of happiness. So whether you're a single mother on welfare or grant, a recent divorcee, or a multi-billionaire, I believe it is your birthright to maximize your potential, get your financial house in order, and step into your own financial empowerment. So let's dive straight in and start building your empire. In order to build a solid house, we need a strong foundation, which is why I call the foundation your why. We want to lay a foundation that will weather all storms. This is where you need to ask yourself authentically, what is my why? And this is such a deep inner reflective piece of work, as I find so many ladies actually don't know what drives them to do what they do with their money. This applies no matter what you earn. Some people get into poor money management habits. No matter how much or little they earn, they never have enough. And you find they do nothing to change it and feel unfulfilled and helpless. The only reason being that their why is not compelling enough. Now your why could be you want to provide a financially stable future for yourself, for your children, or you want to be financially free, or release yourself from any abuse, for example. Maybe your life is to leave a legacy. Also, you never have money worries and can live your best life. Look, I won't lie. The daily grind of my work was confining, but safe. It kept me busy and it had its limitations, but it also had its immediate guarantees, gratifications, and rewards. Yes, it came with trials and tribulations, as that's part of the turf. But without a compelling why, I found my comfort zone early in life and became both compliant and complacent with the expectations and demands from others. And trust, that won't be your plan, but it will happen if you become complacent. It's really quite easy to get into a life routine and remain there too long, sometimes longer than you intended to be there. So our why gives us the drive, determination, and courage to step out of our comfort zone into our power by laying the solid foundation of your why. So I'd like you to pause this video and draw your house of finance, starting with what your why is. I'd love for you to post these in the community. Sometimes it's just about writing it down and putting it out to the universe. Then wonderful things happen. And our bulletproof community is such an empowering and inspiring and safe space. You see, with your why being clearly articulated, you will be giving yourself permission to take control of your destiny, your life, your money, your dreams, and to receive the fruits of your success. I encourage you to find your compelling why. And another way to think of it is, what's your noble cause? So I'd like you to pause this video and post your why, please. Well done. Once that foundation is built, we move on to the 4 pillars that are needed next in our house of finance. The first pillar being your money mindset and beliefs. I've already just spoken a bit about how one's mindset drives one's behavior, which is evidenced by your spending habits. And I will help you figure out your relationship with money and mindset around it in my next video. However, I'd like to add that in this pillar is also our belief system that defines what we believe about money and the essence of money. So what story is your belief system telling you about wealth? We've grown up hearing money doesn't grow on trees. We don't have enough money for that right now. Rich people don't share. Only the rich get richer. These beliefs make us money phobic. These are beliefs we are not born with, but we learned along the way through childhood experiences, parental influence, religious influence, cultural norms, media, and what schools don't teach us about money. Think of 2 children. John experiences sadness associated with money. He hears his parents argue about money. He gets told money doesn't grow on the trees. He mustn't be demanding when he asks for a necessity. He gets given an allowance, but it gets borrowed by his parents frequently and never returned to him most times. He sees no discipline over money, no feeling of abundance. Yet Joseph down the street, living with financially abundant parents, appreciates that money can be used to meet needs with higher quality choices. Pleasures that money can buy, like his guitar or tennis lessons and golf with dad. It enables his parents to self-develop and improve. He knows with all this wealthy living came family holiday memories as well. Chances are, ladies, that John may adopt a poverty mindset, which is a mindset that people believe over time based on a strong belief that they will never have enough money. This mindset is driven by fear and can cause poor financial decision making. The way you think about money can have a huge influence on your ability to create wealth. I'm going to repeat that statement. The way you think about money can have a huge influence on your ability to create wealth. I'd like you to ask yourself, what are your money beliefs? Because the quicker you unlearn your limiting beliefs and relearn non-limiting beliefs around the essence of money, you will dispel your money mindset that wasn't serving you, dispel your limiting thinking about money, and you'll open yourself up to thinking and receiving abundantly. And this will give you the self-belief that you need in order to drive the right money mindset to create your wealth. Now, the second pillar that you need to build in your bulletproof house of finance is your knowledge. I find lots of finance gurus once again tell people you don't need to know this, as you can just use my tool. But my professional ethics keeps me honest in a wild world of financial marketers. So I would say to you that you must work with your own money from a knowledgeable place, because you are the person making these financial decisions. I have so many colleagues who are chartered accountants like me, who are experts in finance, and yet also go about making bad money decisions, who will choose that second lavish holiday for the year instead of paying off their bond. I'll tell you a little story. Back in the days when I was serving articles, we earned back then a pittance of a salary, something like 10,000 Rand a month. And the banks would prey on us like vultures over us by tempting us with credit cards loaded with like 150,000 Rand. But for us back then, that was a huge sum of money available to spend, and we spent it. So ladies, take comfort. Even finance professionals fell in those traps unknowingly. We are trained to read, assess, and analyze companies' financial performance and their financial position, looking at ratios like return on equity, gross profit margins, and liquidity ratios. Yet, if we were trained on how to make proper, solid financial decisions for ourselves, there would not have been that many skilled and trained people I knew back then buying houses with this easy credit and then not being able to foot the bills soon thereafter. And even schools are still preparing our kids to earn money in jobs and spend it only, as you would notice. They are not taught exactly anything about the world of financial education, supply and demand, or how to run a startup successfully when you actually receive funding. Or most importantly, how to manage one's own finances, where to invest, how much to save, how to make proper money decisions. Nothing of this extremely important life skill. I mean, they believe sex education is more important, yet far more people kill themselves financially making wrong money decisions that directly impact their lives. And so Femme Divine was birthed to close the treacherous gaping holes that exist between the education system, training system, and finance marketing system that tries to support good money management for a good future. So my purpose is to bring to women the essence and authenticity about money. I pulled all the greatest secrets together in these pillars so I could kit them up to realize their dreams and ambitions. So now that I've clarified the reasons as to why many of you do not feel confident about your finances, let me show you how to go about rising above the rest to empower yourself financially. Many of you, like me back in the day, do not have a plan to help you achieve your goals. One of the most important things you can do to relieve financial stress and set yourself up for success is to assess your situation as is and create a rock-solid plan to get you to where you want to be. A spending savings plan or budget or money flow, I mean, people call it so many different things these days. But yeah, it can help you determine how to meet your short-term and long-term financial goals. You should be incorporating a spending plan into your financial routine that includes making savings a priority and will help you to put you on the path to achieving your financial goals. Also, the world of money all around you. It is vital to understand, especially at these unprecedented times, what the fascinating economic principles actually mean in our lives, and how economic levers like interest rate impacts your finances. You need to understand the unbelievable power of this thing called compound interest. You see, this is an age-old fundamental key important money rule that I find most women don't take advantage of or just ignore. I'm not sure why, but it's probably because we are taught we must work hard for our money. Call this another secret already revealed. Compound interest is a phenomenon where money works for itself as your money attracts interest on interest. Albert Einstein said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So to wrap up this important pillar, you will need knowledge around building your personal budget and net worth view, meaning how much do you own and have versus how much do you owe. Your personal budget shows all income or earnings you make, whether it's from a job to earning income from side gigs Or if you are one of the money smart ladies, you will already be earning interest on interest, for which there are many cool, free, easy to use budget tools on the internet. However, sticking to the budget is a whole different ballgame that requires all pillars to be built first. It is in this financial knowledge pillar that you will also need to work out how much money you will need monthly in case you lose your job. And that's happened to me. And start saving up for a fit-for-purpose emergency budget or emergency fund. The first thing out of your income is givings or tidings for some, then savings, which I recommend to be around 20% of your annual income. Also, knowledge around investing is extremely important. But there are so many investment vehicles, methods, models, and get-rich-quick schemes that you will make sure that the risk attached to the investment is within your risk appetite, meaning how much financial risk can you endure without having to destroy this beautiful house of finance. So if you're young, your risk appetite is higher as you have more time, and the more time you have, your money will be growing insanely with your monthly contribution and the incredible power of compound interest. And here's another interesting financial guru mistake, as they say, do not invest what you're not willing to lose. Saying something like that is actually there to instill fear, and fear brings about paralysis and non-action. So if you notice in the community, how and where to invest safely was a key concern of our amazing ladies. Tell me something. As soon as you walk out your house to jump into your car and drive somewhere, for example, you are aware, right, that you've just increased your risk levels on your life. So nothing really exempts our hard-earned money from also attracting risk. You need to be financially literate and aware, though, of how much risk you can tolerate. And that also depends on how robust your personal budget is. Because if you have more cash than you need lying in your bank account idle, know that you need to move it. You need to invest it. You need to make it work for you. Now we move on to the third pillar in my Wonder Woman House of Finance framework, and that's skills and habits. One of the hardest things when it comes to turning your finances around is learning how to manage money better. So for this pillar in your Bulletproof House of Finance, you need to identify what are some of the ways to become more disciplined with spending. How do you maximize the money you save? How do you become smarter with your money? For those of you that need some help when it comes to leveling up on your money intelligence, this is what you do. That's not me, because I don't remember to take pics in those moments. But here's a little story, and then we'll know what you need to do. I remember the first time I changed a flat tire. It was a cool autumn eve, and I'd just left work. As I walked up to my car, I noticed something was off about how it sat. As I walked around the car, I saw my rear passenger tire was flat. Ugh, I just wanted to get home. At least it wasn't raining. At least I knew how to change a tire. I jacked up the car, found the spare wheel lock in the center console, loosened the nuts, swapped out the tire with the spare, and tightened everything back up. Easy peasy, done in about 15 minutes, and I even remembered to avoid greasing my dress. There are certain skills every person should possess. CPR, how to write a thank you note, how to cook an egg, and how to change a tire. They're basic life skills that will help enjoy life and be a better person. And this is no truer than when it comes to money. A habit we can unlearn and relearn. I mean, spending less than we make is often cited as the most important personal finance goal. It helps us get out of debt, save for emergencies, and stash money away for retirement. It's the primary habit that enables us to achieve some level of financial freedom. It can also be really difficult to accomplish, though. Let me tell you, my research revealed that in the recent Federal Reserve Board study, only 53% of respondents indicated that they could cover a hypothetical emergency expense costing $400. That's around 10,000 Rand, without selling something or borrowing money. In some cases, it's lack of income that creates the financial strain. In many cases, however, the problem is overspending. Just a habit you can control once you start working on your framework. The other skills and habits to look at is repurposing your lifestyle. COVID has changed our lifestyles willfully. Having a revision of your lifestyle choices previously made is useful, as you may see significant good money habits that have formed while being in lockdown, which you can certainly adopt permanently. Look into the art of simplistic and sustainable living, as simplistic living espouses decluttering as an important action to get more focus onto your finances and in your life. Some other habits include having diligence and discipline, which are good habits. As I read a saying that goes, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, where every rand, dollar, or pound has a home. Don't have this? Don't stress. Habits start automatically aligning to what looks good once you have a proper financial plan and automate your savings. That way, you will never have to worry about not having the discipline to avoid spending more than you want to or have to. The last pillar is what is key critical to your financial success, as you would need tools, what I call armory, that is needed to bulletproof yourself. There are many financial tools out there that are free. Let me tell you, amongst the many out there, the key ones you will require for this pillar to really focus your effort on becoming financially empowered is, firstly and most important, a simple personal budget tool with a tracker of actual versus budget. You see, the thing is, it's not about how much you make that's important. It's about how much money you have left. It doesn't matter whether you're making 200,000 Rand or 2 million Rand a year. The aim is always to spend less than you earn, and this tool is a great visual to help you with that process. The goal of a budget tool is actually not to track every dime we spend. Secret number 2 revealed. That's certainly one way to budget, but it's not the goal. In fact, a woman can know where all of her money is going and still not have an effective budget. The goal of a budget is to help us control our spending so that we can spend less than we make and focus our spending on what matters most to us and save what's left. However you choose to budget, it should meet this goal. If it doesn't, you're doing it wrong. Therefore, I always say your budget is the most important money management tool if used correctly. The second one is a net worth tool. This is to show you how much you owe versus how much you own. And this is the kicker if investing is your pain point. Thirdly, a financial empowerment journal where you document your empowerment journey, and loads more in the form of quizzes, fit-for-purpose calculators, activities, etc. You see, these tools keep us real and grounded and helps us achieve financial abundance and freedom. Now, that's it for today's video. Don't worry, you are probably thinking, but how do I even start navigating without even knowing for sure my money philosophy, thoughts, beliefs about money? Well, that is what the rest of this training series will show you and more. In the next video, I'm going to do a deep dive teaching session on pillar 1 of my framework, and I'm going to show you how to unlearn and relearn your thinking about money so you can achieve greater savings, better control of your money, douse your debt, and have the financial abundance that you deserve. But that's not all. I'm going to share with you one of the best kept secret tools that truly successful women have in their armory, so you can quickly put together your financial position, also known as net worth, and I'll teach you about why it's imperative to add this tool to your armory for your bulletproof journey in investing in the post-pandemic world. There is lots more to learn, and I am so blessed and excited to be sharing with you serious, loving, focused ladies in our bulletproof community. So you don't want to miss that next video. It will be coming out on Wednesday at 8 a.m. SA time, which is GMT +1. I will email it directly to your inbox, and I will also post it in the Facebook community. Make sure to watch it as it comes out, as these videos will expire. Now, I hope you love this video. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know in the comments below this video or in our private Bulletproof Women Financially Facebook community. See you in the next video on Wednesday. Cheers!